A plane ascends into the sky, a symbol of new beginnings. Inside, passengers sit, their faces reflecting dreams of what lies ahead. Inside the cockpit, pilots maintain a calm focus, their expertise evident in every precise action. A subtle anomaly flickers on a monitor, hinting at an unseen threat. The airport descends into chaos as news of the crash spreads like wildfire. The scale of the tragedy unfolds, a panorama of devastation and despair. The air is thick with smoke, and the cries of the injured, a symphony of sorrow. Inside the investigation headquarters, tension hangs heavy as investigators pore over the grim aftermath of the crash. Faces etched with determination, they sift through the wreckage, seeking answers among the fragments. The weight of responsibility deepens the silence, broken only by the rustle of papers and hushed murmurs of analysis. In the stark interview room, investigator and witness face each other across a cold metal table. Witness expression shifts, a subtle dance between truth and deception. Sunlight pierces through the window, illuminating dust motes as I sit hunched over. The silence of grief fills the room, broken only by choked breaths. My heart aches with a pain I never knew existed. Forensic experts meticulously search for clues. Grainy images flicker across the screen, hinting at inconsistencies and cover-ups. In a sterile room, an expert leans forward, their face etched with the gravity of their knowledge. The harsh fluorescent lights cast long shadows, highlighting the expert's serious expression. Under the harsh fluorescent lights of the investigation headquarters, investigators gather. They meticulously piece together fragments of photographs and witness statements. Each fragment reflects the events leading up to the devastating crash. The interview room is stark, a stage set for a tense encounter. A crucial witness fidgets, their gaze evading the eyes of their interrogator. The air is heavy with the promise of revelations, each word poised to deepen the mystery. Amidst the wreckage, the sun casts sharp glints on twisted metal and shattered remnants. I scrutinize the potential failure points, each shard a testament to destruction. The night deepens as investigators work tirelessly, the weight of their task heavy in the air. The silence is broken only by the rustle of papers and the occasional sigh, each sound amplifying the palpable tension. Each tick of the clock echoes the urgency of their pursuit. As they delve deeper into the night, a lone light casts stark shadows, revealing a face etched with weariness and defiance. Nervous eyes dart around the room, betraying a hidden tension. Under the cloak of night, the city stretches out, its lights painting somber shadows that whisper of untold stories. A reflective mood settles over the streets, each corner echoing with the weight of unspoken narratives. In the quiet of the night, shadows play across the walls of a dimly lit living room. I cradle a faded photograph, fingers tracing the lines of a smiling face, a relic of time. A wave of grief washes over me, clutching the photo tighter, as if grasping the last fragment of a shattered world. The silence amplifies the ache in my heart as memories flood my mind. A single tear escapes, tracing a lonely path down my cheek, a testament to a love now lost. The investigation headquarters hums with nervous energy as investigators gather, their faces lit by the glow of a holographic display. A complex web of connections forms in the air, revealing a new clue that might unravel the mystery. The air thickens with tension as they dissect the data, the burden of their mission etched deeply into their expressions. Under the hum of fluorescent lights, I stand amidst rows of complex machinery. Beakers bubble, monitors flicker with data, and a growing unease settles in my stomach as I analyze the evidence. The truth washes over me, a cold wave of shock. In a stark room, Detective Washington faces the suspect across a bare table, the air heavy with unspoken tension. The suspect shifts, avoiding Washington's intense gaze, their unease palpable. Hands fidget nervously, betraying the suspect's inner turmoil. The courtroom buzzes with anticipation as lawyers adjust their ties, and the jury sits with solemn faces. The defendant nervously awaits their fate. In the courtroom, witnesses testify, weaving a complex web of narratives. The defense begins, casting shadows of doubt across the courtroom. Questions hang heavy in the air, challenging every certainty. The courtroom is thick with tension, the air heavy with anticipation. The prosecution's voice echoes through the silent courtroom, each word a calculated strike. Sunlight floods the courtroom, illuminating the gravity etched on each juror's face. Each juror is masked in intense concentration, the weight of their decision palpable. Papers and evidence photos are scattered, casting long shadows across the table. The air hangs heavy with unspoken tension. The courtroom is thick with anticipation, the silence almost unbearable. The judge, stern-faced, reads the verdict, the words hanging heavy in the air. A collective gasp sweeps through the gallery, shattering the tense silence. Disbelief and shock ripple through the audience, their faces reflecting the weight of the judgment. The airport shimmers, reflecting the weight of past events. Sunlight glints off the glass and steel, casting long shadows across the tarmac. Sunlight floods the room, illuminating the stillness as I sit, lost in memories. Each page turned releases a bittersweet wave, a silent dialogue with faces of the past. The house echoes with laughter and tears, a quiet symphony of bygone days. With a gentle thud, the album closes, sealing a chapter of life's story. Bathed in sunlight, the solemn memorial stands as a tribute to the victims. Vibrant wreaths of flowers adorn the base, their colors a stark contrast against the gray stone. Under the harsh glare of fluorescent lights, investigators gather around a scarred table, the weight of the case heavy in the air. Weary faces reflect the toll of the investigation, each expression etched with the burden of unspoken truths. The air hangs thick with palpable tension, a silent testament to the stakes at hand. In the stark interview room, an investigator sits, the weight of unspoken grief heavy in the air. Papers lie neatly stacked on the table, silent witnesses to the tragedy. The investigator reflects on the tragedy. The crash site transforms into a place of solemn remembrance. Archival footage rolls, showcasing the plane's detailed history and meticulous maintenance. In a softly lit room, a serious expert sits at a table, ready to speak. He adjusts his glasses, a subtle gesture before delving into the details of the crash. In the stark interview room, a mechanic recounts the plane's maintenance history. He gestures emphatically, his hands telling a story of mechanical toil. The room is filled with a heavy silence as the air traffic controller sits, his face a mask of burden. He shifts, the weight of the day pressing down on him. He begins to speak, the memories of the crash flooding back. Investigators gather, the glow of weather models painting their faces with the urgency of discovery. They scrutinize swirling vortexes and color-coded pressure systems, each detail a potential clue. Experts gather, their faces lit by the flickering screens as they dissect the black box recordings. The laboratory pulses with anticipation, filled with the low hum of electronic equipment. In a room filled with sorrow, a passenger's family member sits, their face a canvas of grief. Weak sunlight barely penetrates the room as the passenger's family member begins. I remember our last conversation like it was yesterday. In a somber room, soft lighting casts shadows around a table where a family member sits, their clasped hands betraying a heart heavy with sorrow. Flickering images from the past fill the screen, echoing the chaos of the crash. Inside the investigation headquarters, tension fills the air as investigators gather around a table covered in evidence. They pore over each photograph and document, dissecting the intricate details of the plane crash. The weight of the investigation hangs heavy as they search for answers. In a brightly lit room, an expert sits at a table, their expression a mask of intense concentration. They delve into the complexities of a plane crash, the challenge of pinpointing the definitive cause etched on their face. Scattered papers and diagrams of aircraft and wreckage surround them, each piece a fragment of the puzzle. Experts meticulously analyze the wreckage, their focused gazes scanning for any subtle signs of sabotage. In the sterile interview room, a witness fidgets nervously, their story hanging heavy in the air. The witness recounts the story, their gaze searching for answers in the empty space. Inside the investigation headquarters, investigators pursue a new lead. A potential suspect enters the room, tension filling the air. The investigators begin their interview, scrutinizing every word and gesture. The suspect responds, carefully choosing his words under intense pressure. In a stark room, a lone figure fidgets under the cold hum of fluorescent lights. He breaks the silence, his voice strained. I had nothing to do with the crash. Investigators work tirelessly, gathering evidence to solve the puzzle. Each piece of evidence is carefully examined, bringing them closer to the truth. The headquarters buzzes with activity as the team races against time. The air in the interview room thickens with unspoken tension as the witness sits nervously across from the detective. Papers litter the table between them, each sheet a silent testament to the weight of the unfolding story. The witness fidgets, then begins to speak, revealing a crucial piece of information. The detective leans forward, a glimmer of understanding igniting in his eyes. Under the harsh glare of laboratory lights, experts gather, their faces etched with concern as they confront unsettling truths. The weight of their grim analysis settles heavily, confirming the darkest suspicions. In the heart of the investigation headquarters, a scene unfolds as investigators present their findings. The room buzzes with anticipation as superiors listen intently, their faces a mask of seriousness. The room is dominated by a long mahogany table, its surface laden with scattered papers. Serious-faced individuals surround the table, their expressions reflecting the gravity of the meeting. Harsh fluorescent lights cast a sterile glow, heightening the sense of anticipation. Inside the investigation headquarters, a palpable tension fills the air as investigators finalize their plans. The team prepares equipment, the weight of the imminent arrest heavy on their shoulders. Each action is deliberate, each glance filled with the gravity of the task ahead. The suspect is apprehended. The interrogation room is bathed in stark fluorescent light, the sterile environment amplifying the coldness. A metal table sits center, its surface gleaming under the unforgiving glare. The room is sterile, the coldness palpable. The courtroom buzzes with anticipation as the trial begins. The suspect stands before the court, head held high, a defiant figure amidst the legal proceedings. The suspect declares, "Not guilty." Voices echo in the courtroom, each account adding to the mounting tension. The suspect remains silent, his gaze sweeping across the room, absorbing every detail. The defense team rises, ready to sow seeds of doubt. They present their case, each word a calculated move. The courtroom watches as the seeds of doubt begin to take root. The courtroom awaits, sunlight painting streaks across the still air. The prosecution's voice fills the room, each word a hammer blow against the silence. Their closing arguments echo with unwavering conviction. Sunlight floods the deliberation room, highlighting the heavy silence as the jury gathers around the table. Dust motes dance in the sunbeams, a silent ballet in the tense air. Each juror sits, avoiding eye contact, the weight of their decision palpable. The courtroom holds its breath as the jury files in, their expressions betraying nothing. Every gaze in the room converges on the foreman as he rises, the verdict clutched in his hand. A vehicle arrives at the prison, its arrival signaling a moment of reckoning. The suspect is escorted from the vehicle, each step measured and heavy. He has walked towards the prison entrance, his fate sealed. The room is thick with unspoken tension as victims' families gather, their faces a canvas of hope and anxiety. The air vibrates with anticipation as they await the verdict, each breath held in a collective moment of suspense. A grieving mother sits silently, a single tear tracing a path down her cheek as she nervously fidgets with a tissue. Investigators sit wearily around a table, the remnants of coffee and scattered files telling tales of a long, arduous day. The air is heavy with unspoken thoughts, each investigator lost in their own reflections. The archival footage rolls, revealing fragments of a past investigation. In a somber room, lit by sterile fluorescent lights, an investigator sits, ready to confront the shadows. He leans forward, his expression earnest, seeking more than just answers. Justice isn't just about punishment, he states, his voice resonating with conviction. It's about finding the truth, ensuring fairness, and restoring balance. The memorial stands, a beacon of hope against the skyline. In a sterile room, a family member sits, a subtle sadness in their eyes, finding peace. It's not about forgetting, it's about remembering without the pain. It's about accepting that they're gone, but the love, the memories, those stay. And that's where the peace comes from, I think. The airport pulses with life, a vibrant ballet of arrivals and farewells under the vast sky. Sunlight dances on the sleek bodies of airplanes, symbols of journeys taken and horizons reached. A renewed sense of safety washes over the scene. In the cockpit, a new pilot sits, eyes wide with hope, reflecting the promise of a fresh start against the boundless sky. The array of buttons and screens reflects in their eyes. This takeoff represents a clean slate etched against the vast blue canvas of the sky. The plane soars, cutting through the vast expanse of the sky. A somber atmosphere hangs heavy in the room as I sit across from the expert. The expert's face is a roadmap of past events, each line a testament to trials endured. Sunlight streams in, casting long shadows that dance across the walls, adding to the room's somber mood. The plane crash unfolds in slow motion, a catastrophic dance of destruction. The moment of impact is frozen, a vivid tableau of devastation. In the stark interview room, a family member sits, their eyes reflecting a somber mix of pain and resilience. They begin to recount their journey toward healing, their voice filled with a quiet determination. The sterile environment of the room contrasts sharply with the raw emotion etched on their face. The memorial stands bathed in the warm hues of the setting sun, a serene symbol of remembrance and peace. In the dimly lit studio, the narrator's face glows under a single desk lamp. So, we've reached the end. But have we truly found justice? These are questions that linger, echoing through the corridors of time. What remains is the enduring memory, the challenge to learn, and the hope that we might prevent such darkness from ever consuming us again.